Good day, it is Stephen David here, and in this video I will give you 9 best tips on home teaching, the must-know tips. The first set of tips is about the parent as home teacher. Number 1 is the parent must become a student. You must remember the kids today learn differently than we did. For example, Jolly Phonics, we didn't learn and we didn't know anything about it. Look at maths, the way the kids add, we add vertically, but the kids today add horizontally. Today, even the grade 2 kids have graphs, things which you sometimes only learn at university or in high school. They use more extensively number charts from a very early age. So they do things differently. You as a parent must decide to invest your time. It must be deliberately decision, because it will save you a lot of time and frustration. Learning to do the thing the correct way means that the way the child learns at school and the way you present it at home will correlate and will be the same. It will also mean that the child will learn easier. It will make it a more enjoyable experience. Now, how do you learn? Ask professionals. Maybe you have family members. Maybe you have other friends. Go to the teacher. Ask him, how do you do this? We are not teachers. We are forced in this situation. Make the best of it. And if you have the internet, use it extensively and wisely. Usually search for South Africa or for Afrikaans, because if you just search, for example, for grade 2, you get lots of overseas, especially American information that does not necessarily correlate with our syllabus. Another example is, for example, Jolly Phonics. They do not pronounce Z, but they pronounce it as Z, and that just confuses the child. So try use international resources, but if you can get our African resources, it will be great, and that you can use as a basis on which you then load other things. And search appropriately for the child's grade, because you get various types of easy words for grade 1, grade 3, maths for grade 1, grade 2, etc. So get something appropriate for your child's grade. The second thing is you must stop when you are stressed. We all have bad days. Remember, the parents, you have money, bills, marriage, work, etc. There's a lot of things. And yeah, children have their off days too. They're not always happy. They're not always on the top. After weekends, long weekends, especially holiday breaks, they are a little bit, must come again into the groove and identify other things that may bring the child a little bit off. Maybe there's things that, oh, maybe the child is sick. Maybe the child wants to watch TV during the breaks that you give him, or play games on the computer, which is engaging his mind. So see to it that you try to eliminate things that give a bad day, and that means the child's not concentrating. But remember and realize we all have bad days. So if you notice something is out of order, you may need to stop temporarily. Especially when you as a teacher, parent, become stressed, you notice you scream, you notice you raise your voice. Stop. Don't break the child psychologically. Do introspection. If you notice a child doesn't pay attention, you tell him, look, Taiki, we're now going to take a break, and you start focusing, because you waste our time and things take longer. See why you don't. I'm going to break now, and then you get your head around things. But the most important thing is don't harm the child psychologically. It's not worth it. You are a dominant person. It's no use. You can, I personally know a lot of doctors who only is very good academically, but psychologically they messed up. You don't want a child like that. You want a well-built and all-around child that is well all around. Third thing is you must learn to manage your time. One cannot do everything perfect every day. Sometimes there's a lot of things on you. You are busy. You work under stress. There's a lot of things on you. So the solution is, although you can do, for example, the spelling of the words, go through, or the reading of the story, which we have videos on here, you can go through all the motions. It's not always possible. So if you must spell words, take a sample sometimes. You just know the child is doing it. Sometimes don't count everything. Uh, Just maybe focus on not counting, skip counting in fives and tens, and maybe just do in twos. Or, for example, there was once when my child was busy, and he had to go with me to a shop there, and we had to wait a long time for the delivery. And I realized that we're running uh, behind schedule, so I somehow used that opportunity there, counting the rails, and he found it very interesting. So remember, be realistic in terms of your time. The further set of tips is about the child as a co-teacher. Make the child a co-teacher. Get the child active in what you're doing. He can decide the order. For example, the child says, "Can I do this?" The book says this is the order 1, 2, 3, 4, but the child wants to start at number 5. If there's no real problem, if it's isolated, it doesn't need to build up to that section. Let the child do it. It gives him the co-ownership of it. Remember, a child is wonderful in introducing new games, how to do a thing. I just observed my grandson, and everyone else has different situations, but I'm busy with my grandson. Then you can see, but maybe you play card games. He wants to introduce a new card, so create a new card. Or he can say, Opa, this way of doing it is for me easier. Ask a child. I've showed you now 2 methods. You want to say 6 times 3, or do you want to say 6 multiplied by 3? You say 6 multiplied by 3 is easier. So go with his way of doing, and it makes for him this situation more pleasurable. The other set of tips is about the learning space. Have a proper learning space for the child. It's not always possible. If it means you must take the child away at a certain place, even if a copy or wherever, get an area in the house wherever that's conducive for learning. Maybe the bedroom, maybe the room, wherever it is, where it's a site where you and the child can focus and can have peace. Have a good learning atmosphere. For example, let put the TV off. Everyone must sacrifice for that day. Put the radio off. It's no use everyone want to scream. Tell or someone, if you want to enjoy yourself, please do it. Ask the neighbors. Don't make it. Please give me my child this time of day, or decide on a time of the day which is suitable for your child. Try to get a nice learning atmosphere that's conducive. The thing is, get a clean table. The cluttered table is not very conducive, because you must search for this book, you search for that book, you search for a pen, you search for a eraser. You can't, the child can't write properly, the child can't sit properly. Get a place, table that's clean, not cluttered where you and the child, because you need to demonstrate to the child sometimes manipulatives. You have to help him to spell. So you can't do it in a small space. Get a space, a table that's clean and nice area. Make it specially for you, even if you have to put things somewhere else. Another thing is in terms of a toolbox. Get a specific toolbox that's maybe organized in terms of compartments for you and the child, for the child's learning material. You can throw everything in a plastic bag, but if you have everything in a plastic bag, it's sometimes difficult. You need a ruler quickly, you need a pencil quickly, you need an eraser quickly. You need some specific manipulatives. Manipulatives are the things you use for counting counters. So get us a nice one. It's easily arrangeable, easily accessible, because that saves time. That helps us reducing frustration. Get also suitable material. If you need now, see, you constantly need a thing, but maybe someone doesn't provide it or isn't there, go and, if you have the facility and the ability, go and maybe make a number chart and print it. Another set is about the teaching principle. Tip number 7 is very pertinent for grade 2. At this stage, they have to be, teaching have to be concrete. They must feel things, they must see things, they must touch things, they must do things, especially in the languages, for example. In the languages, they must see the words, they must hear the words. Not only hear the words, show them the words. They must see it, and that's the way they learn. And so the reading, etc. In maths, use of manipulatives. Let them see what is less and what is more. They will start. They must now start getting things more abstract, but focus on being concrete. Especially the number charts, which we didn't use so much when we were at their age in their grades. The number chart is a very wonderful learning aid, and we're going to make another video on that. For example, another thing is if you must teach a child about pairs of shoes, go to your wardrobe, get all the shoes in the house, let him put out his shoes. A child, that pair of shoes, what's a pair of shoes? Count the pair of shoes. Those things are for us easy, but it's a difficult concept for a child to learn it. Number 7 is about the term is edutainment and fun. Keep the learning fun. Learning experience must be fun. If the child does it, there can't always be laughter. There must be a certain set. Child, you must do it. We must do it. Child becomes it's learning, but try as far as possible. There must be laughter. There must be fun. There must be enjoyment. Get them the love of learning. And if too much, there's a strain. There's a the child who must drag the child. Go and find out, what do I do wrong? Do introspection. The child is too small at that stage to do the necessary introspection. Introspection depends on us, and correction depends on us. It's the adults who must teach them. Tip number 7 is closely related to the previous one. Constantly evaluate what you are doing, and isn't there a better way? Uh, and then share it with other parents, share it with other people. Maybe you need to, why was today so great? We done this good and we done that good. Why was today not so great? Maybe we were stressed. Maybe it was just after the weekend. How can I make things better? Constantly do it, and in this way, you will make the learning experience for the child and also for yourself much better and enjoyable. The last step is life is great. In the time of the COVID, the teaching focus on maths and languages, but life is much greater and bigger than those subjects that we are forced to focus on. There's religion, there's sports, there's biology, plants, music, people skills, science, there's art, all these things. Let the child, if you have time, explore it, experience it. Take the child out. Show the child you walk past an electric post. That is electricity. This is what happens. In the kettle, this is how the kettle is boiling. This is what happens. Teach the child everything. Remember, life is much broader than just the subjects that we must teach them. And lastly, I want to thank my grandson and also apologize to him because he teaches me the very hard way how to help him. He's busy here. We dissecting a fish, cleaning a fish as part of his doesn't even know it, his general learning experience. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe.